26th, Sunday. The Icemen taking on a familiar foe from Ardrossan Arena. KC701, the team they played the very last game of the regular in the playoffs. 2 wins. Puts them into a battle today against your Icemen. The goal differential for KC of +7, 15 goals for, 8 against over 3 games. And in that 3 games, their leading scorer, Nathan Cheremchinsky, number 16. 4 goals, 3 assists, 7 points in 3 games with 2 game winners. So that is exactly who the Icemen will have to key on today. As well as number 19, Miguel St. Pierre. 5 points over 3 games. And it looks like the goaltender, number 1, Riley May, who they played against the Icemen, has gotten both starts for the KC Sabres. And he looks to be back in the net again today against your SE701 Icemen. So I believe it'll be Perkis against May again, going head-to-head. I believe your Icemen, as they welcome number 4, Brandon Foote, defenseman, back into the lineup, will actually go with 9 forwards and 7 defensemen. So Smith will stay on the back end. Your Icemen will keep the 3 forward lines together. Two and a half minutes remaining in warm-up. And we will get this game underway. Your Icemen getting a 6-5 win in the first playoff game over Sherwood Park 701, followed by a 5-4 overtime win against Sherwood Park 702, puts them in this game 2-0. In the U18 Tier 1 playoffs, it is the double knockout. Lose 1 game, you get knocked over to the B side. You can make your way back to the final. So the winner of this game would work their way all the way to the final, whereas the loser of this game would be playing Thursday, as 4 teams remain. So win this game, you go to the final, play Sunday. Lose this game, you play again Thursday. You got to win an extra game to get the championship. One minute remaining in warm-up. Your Icemen wearing white with blue and black trim will be going left to right in this first period, whereas the KC Sabres wearing exactly that, the vintage Michael Pekka, Dominic Hasek retro jerseys, black with white and red and gray trim, will be going right to left. And this is a neutral site game, as neither team plays out of Ardrossan on a regular basis. Looks like there's Riley May, number 1 for the Sabres. Took the majority of the shots in the starters net. He will get the start for the Sabres. For your Icemen, it'll be number 35, Denver Perkis. Puck's just getting collected here. We're about to get underway from Ardrossan and Ardrossan Recreational Complex. Other games today, it was Sherwood Park 702 over Stony Plain 701, squeaking by them 2-1 as they are still alive. That is Stony Plain 702. And from Kenilworth Arena at 2 p.m. it was South Zone 702 over Spruce Grove 701, 9-4. So those are the two teams that remain besides your Icemen and the KC Sabres. So as mentioned, whoever loses this game would play again Thursday night at 8:15 in St. Albert to try to get to the final still. But win this game and you're playing in the final Sunday at 1:15 from TransAlta Tri-Leisure Center in Spruce Grove, Alberta, the U18 Tier 1 final. So the stakes are high. Weeks' line will start with Baines and Porosny on his wings, Homulus and Smith on the back end. Homulus gathers that up, he'll send it right in. Puck up and out of the zone, it could be a 2-on-1. Pass across, just out of the reach as Homulus back to force his man off the puck. Turned over, Smith forces off a stick, forced the turnover. Porosny's going to gain center and lob it to Weeks. Weeks on the near side, fires it into the waiting glove of the tender. Puck won by KC. They'll chip it out of the zone. Another 2-on-1, but Carrier able to break that up. Sawyer strides to connect with Gwinnett. Chipped into the zone. Another 2-on-1, and Carrier catches his guy, keeps him to the outside. Pass right in front. Perkis. Down, but not out, and he'll hold on for a whistle to start this game. Iceman will have to tighten up with a couple odd man rushes already. And a correction, it's not Riley May between the pipes. Getting his first start in the playoffs is number 31, Quentin Black. KC defenseman falls, and that's brought out. It's going to be a clear 2-on-1. Binder and Giamaroli. Binder in on the back end. Flips it to the net. I think Black was able to get it with a glove and hold on as Giamaroli drove to the net. Right as Binder made that pass on the backhand off the defenseman's stick. Aerial toward the net, but Black able to snag it with a glove and hold on. Ferris and Foot. The defensive pairing, Giamaroli with Vanderham and Binder. Kept in by Foot. Rimmed around to the opposite corner. Giamaroli forced the turnover. Vanderham picks it up, looks at his options. Delays, back to the point to Ferris. Ferris fired right on that. That's steered aside by Black. No forward able to come out and pressure Ferris. Again, Foot fires it on net, and Black, as that puck elevates into the air, Black able to snag it and hold on as he allowed a rebound, but was able to cover it up. Good shift by the Vanderham line. Giamaroli and Binder getting an odd man rush and then some zone time. Good job, Giamaroli, laying the body to force that turnover and create that opportunity. Chipped up the wall, but not out. Smith and Vanderham will keep it in. Vanderham will get along the half wall on the far side below. Centering by Baines, looking for Porosny. Baines will pick it up again. Baines to Porosny, handcuffs him into the skates, and it's going to be an odd man rush. Nope, not the out. Smith will lob it up, but not out of the zone. Smith moves it over to the boards. Homulus is going to jump up, bring it to center, just out of the reach of Weeks, kept in at the line by Homulus. KC turns over in their own zone. Porosny in on the forecheck. Up to the point. Smith keeps it in again. Baines hounded. He's going to get to the middle of the ice, strip to the puck. KC back the other way. 1-on-3. Smith strips him of the puck. Smith muscled up the wall. Porosny gives it up to Homulus. Almost turned over. Weeks is going to hustle to try to get out of the zone. Still in the zone. Weeks picks it up to Baines. Long shift for this forward line. They're going to have to change it up. Porosny. The Baines fires it right on Black. And he'll hold on as he was read the play well. Already down in the butterfly square to the shooter. Baines prevents the rebound. Face off. Won by Gwinnett. Sawyer's tried to turn around and get that to the net. Carrero right to the net. Another rebound. Off the right pad of Black. Cologne pinches down. Keeps it in. He'll hold it. Shovel it down low for Knapczyk, just out of his reach. Knapczyk gives chase. Sawyer's stripped to the puck. Pulls his man down, and it's going to be a penalty called to your Iceman for tripping. And Sawyer's is going to head off. Work to the half wall. Across the top. Over to the half wall on the far side. Behind the net. KC defenseman pinching all the way down, looking for that pass from below the goal line. That's worked up into the slot. He evades the target, and the Sabres will have to tag up. 1.5 minutes remaining in the penalty to Sawyers for tripping. As Knights of Columbus content just to bring the puck in to the zone, look for an option. Pass back through the seam, that's off the stick of Gwinnett. Kept to the outside. Ferris tries to tie that puck up. Tries to get that puck, rim it around and get it out. Unsuccessful. KC able to keep it in. Work back up to the point. 1 minute remaining in the penalty to Sawyer. Shot through the last second. Perkis saw that. Backdoor handcuffs the Sabres player on the far side as he looked to tap that in, and Cologne will pick it up and send it down the length of the ice. Long lead pass. Good job by Homulus to muscle his man off the puck, and Knapczyk in to pick that up. 30 seconds remaining in the penalty to Sawyers. As Giamaroli, Smith, Homulus, and Knapczyk out here at the end of this penalty kill. Giamaroli forces his man back deep into his own zone. Almost forced a turnover. A dozen seconds left on the man advantage for KC. As Giamaroli back on the back trip, dumps his man. Knapczyk will drag it just into the zone. He's hauled down, no penalty on the play, and Sawyers is free from a sin bin, and we are back to even strength. Good job by Knapczyk. Good hit hard. Separates his man from the puck, and Ferris will fire that to the back wall. Foot pinches down. It's off his skate. Foot will pick it up again. Tries to center that. Sawyers tries to get free. Behind the net, he's hit up high, right in the head. No penalty called. Some chin music there on Sawyers, and the ref was right there, did not call it. Puck up and out into the neutral zone, and Sear will have to regroup. Ferris to Foot. Up to Porosny. He'll have to hurry up to try to get that. It just skipped off his stick. Puck up to the blue line, and Foot will send it into the opposite corner. Coach Ferris able to get the Weeks line back out here. Cologne and Carrier now out here on the back end as that puck up and into the netting. The face-off will be just at the KC Sabres blue line. Shots on goal. through 6.5 minutes of play. 7-1 in favor of your Icemen. We are not at 0. KC with the puck up the glass and out. Smart play. Baines gets it back over to Carrier. Carrier's got to hurry to get it out of the zone. He does. Up to Porosny, up to Weeks. Weeks in. Drops it for Baines. Baines tried to pick that up, and KC's going to come back the other way. Cologne keeps his man to the outside. Shot from well out, but Perkis knocked it down with his glove. That was a good shot. KC picks it up again. Stripped to the puck. Weeks will lob that out to the neutral zone. KC defenseman just content to fire back in, and that is going to be an icing. Oh, I think that's what you're going to see from this KC Sabres team, is just try to create something off the rush. They haven't got much zone time, unlike the Icemen. And you'd think you would see number 16 for the Sabres creating that offensive opportunity. Work to the far boards, all the way in. The icing waved off center. Smith picks it up, fires it up the middle, looking for Giamoroli, and the icing's waved off. Giamoroli on the forecheck. Black out to play the puck, almost. Centering pass by Vanderham finds Binder. That's the center and brought in, sent deep into the Iceman zone. Omulus out to get it, sends it to Binder. Binder curling the opposite way, and Vanderham breaks that up. And Vanderham back the other way, tries to chip it around the defenseman. Vanderham tries to find Binder. And KC's going to come back the other way. They'll gain center at the end of a line change. That's off the stick of Homulus. Good job to turn that over. Smith will pound his man to the wall. Fire him to the ice. And Knapsack back the other way. Knapsack going to gain center. Was going to lob it in until it skipped off his stick, and now he'll give chase. Ferris back to get it. Over to Foot. Foot loses the handle. He's going to have to go back. Bounce it off the boards to Ferris. Beyond the net. D again to Foot. Up to Sawyer. Sawyers will gain center. Sawyers looks to chip and chase. Centering pass goes off the end of his stick. Puck worked around to the far half wall. Gwinnett in there. Forces the turnover. KC's going to have to turn back. KC right up the middle. Foot steps up on his man. Forces the turnover. Porosny back in the neutral zone to support as well. Foot over to Ferris. Ferris up to Sawyer. Sawyer lobs it in on Black. That just goes wide. Sawyer's going to go off. And the Baines-Porosny Weeks line is going to come back out here, and as that long pass just evades the leading scorer in the regular season of the playoffs, number 16, Cheremshinsky. So Cheremshinsky looked to get sprung up the middle, just over his stick. So it'll be an icing and a face-off back in the Sabres zone. Carrero with the puck at the point. Works it down to the half wall. Porosny to Baines, loose puck. And Porosny picks it up and deposits it past Black, and it's 1-0 for your Icemen. Great face-off win right off the draw. Carrero didn't force anything to the net. Sent it right back down the half wall to Porosny. Porosny right into the bumper play, the bumper spot to Baines. Porosny drives the net, the rebound collected, and good patience by Calder Porosny to bring it from his backhand to his forehand and elevate it up over the left pad of Quentin Black. The goal is going to be Porosny from Baines and Weeks. A set face-off play. That is exactly what you need to gain the upper hand in a playoff game. Great patience by your Icemen. to capitalize there on an offensive face-off, and that coming off of a miscue by a KC defenseman that forced an icing, and your Icemen capitalized. It's going to be a clear 2-on-1. Carrell pinched, and KC's off to the races. Fired and fought off by Perkis. Icemen have to not pinch every single chance and create these give these odd man rushes to the opposition. Another one passed in front, and that one off the post and out. As Baines gave it to Weeks as he went behind the net. Black finds it as it comes off the post. What a setup there, and your Icemen almost go up by 2. The shot's on goal now. 10-2 in favor of Sierra. Smith fires it from the point. That's off the blocker of Black, and Smith is going to pinch down. Fire from a sharp angle, and Black's going to hold on for a whistle. Good job by Smith to get that on net. See if Black was going to get to his post in time. Vanderham wins the draw forward. Rimmed around the point, but not out. Does skip over Smith's stick, and Romulus back to pick it up. He'll chip it up to the line, but not out. Smith, good stick to force a turnover. Binder's got to move this. He's going to skate it up to center. Binder looks. Tries to move it around his man. That doesn't work, and he's going to have to tag up on the delayed offside. Sabres bring it to the blue line. They'll drag it in. Forced turnover. And Romulus lowers the boom, and he's going to call a charging penalty, though. Romulus just stepped up on his man. He initially showed a charging symbol and then showed a hold. So at any rate, it's a two-minute penalty to Romulus. Great play by Romulus to step up on his man, and expect him to keep doing that like he's done all season. And Sabres capitalize in short order. Still can't see how that's a charging penalty as Romulus just pivoted and angled right into his man and buried him. He was not skating and striding directly into his man, but at any rate, we are knotted at 1. The Sabres scoring on their third shot on goal on the power play. 8 seconds of work. The Sabres now 1 for 2 on the man advantage. Ferris picks that up, sends it around the boards to Sawyers. Sawyers up to Gwinnett. Gwinnett back to Sawyers. Sawyers sends it in on Black, and he's got to reach across instead of playing it with a blocker. Reaches across like a back catcher and snags that with a glove as that was going upstairs on the blocker side. That shot from outside the blue line by Sawyers. Face-off won by Icemen. Foot to Gwinnett. Forced turnover. Sabres will bring it back in. Good job by Ferris to force his man off the puck. Ferris will pick it up again. Gets it to open ice on the opposite side. Sawyers tries to strip his man to the puck. That errant pass is picked off by Gwinnett. Gwinnett back to Sawyers. Sawyers will get it again. Evaded check. Looks for Gwinnett. Defenseman for KC able to lay down and block that. Foot will step up and give chase. Foot in on the forecheck. Pucking up to the blue line and out, and Porosny will send it right back in. Sent right out in front. Gwinnett found himself with a puck right in the blue paint as that errant pass from the corner popped right out off the side of the net. Sabres will send that in, get in a full line change. As Carrier will curl around with it, sends it up the middle to Gwinnett. Gwinnett chips it up. Baines picks it up all the way and fired. pounded and ran into the boards, and KC is going to get a penalty. Delayed power play, or delayed penalty upcoming, and KC will touch it. Your Icemen will go on the power play. Good job by the Sabres player to catch up to Baines, but then Baines with his back to the boards finishes his check hard as Baines was in a vulnerable position. Boarding is the call, and your Icemen are on the man advantage. Ferris to Baines, fired off the legs of Weeks. That stung a little bit. Weeks picks that up. Back to Baines. Baines sifts that in on net. Knocked down by a Sabres body in front, and he sends it down the length of the ice. Baines back to pick it up. Baines evades 2 forecheckers. Curl back, drop it back. Ferris picks it up, leaves it for Weeks, and it's turned over and sent back down the length of the ice. Your Icemen with their first man advantage of the game. Grozny in. Sends it to the wall in the near boards. Danaran back to Ferris. Weeks was posted up out front. Ferris fires it in on net, and Black easily holds on as that hits him in the crest with no traffic in front. And a change to the penalty killers and the power play unit for both teams. Exactly halfway through this man advantage. Sawyers, Gwinnett, Knapsick, Homulus, and Colomb on the back end. Back to Homulus. Homulus to Gwinnett. He'll curl to the boards, curl back out, back up to Homulus. Homulus walks the line, tipped on the way by Gwinnett. Right back up and out to no, not out. Colomb, great job to keep it in. Puck to Sawyers, fans on that, back up to the point. It's going to be sent down the length of the ice. Perkis sends it to Homulus. Homulus up to Sawyers. Sawyers leaves it for Knapsick. Puck intercepted and sent back down again. Colomb with the puck. Moves it to Sawyers. Sawyers has to evade a check. The Icemen have to put something together here. Little chippy here on this power play. As power play almost expired. The man is out of the box and we're back even. Homulus fires that through traffic. Black steers out of side. Ferris again fires it on net. Knapsick tries to collect the puck. It's up around the boards. Ferris will keep it in. Ferris stands on the puck. Puck sent up. Trickles over the shoulder of Ferris, and Gwinnett is pounded to the ice. They didn't even have the puck. Binder fires at almost caught Black low below the blocker. Good shot by Binder from outside. Vanderham picks it up. Centers it to Binder. Binder back to the point to Carrero. Carrero fires it on net. Knapsick creating traffic in front, and Black did not even see it. And Carrero logs that into the net. Quentin Black didn't even react to that shot from Carrero as Knapsick creating confusion in front of the net. So your Icemen don't score on the man advantage, but immediately after the penalty expires, your Icemen score 5-on-5 to take a 1-goal lead. Binder up the boards, but not out. That one chipped up and into the Sierra bench. So the goal is going to be Carrero from Binder and Vanderham. Shots on goal now, 19-4 in favor of your Icemen, but only leading by 1 in this opening frame, 4:04 remaining in the period as the puck is sent into the Iceman zone. Ferris tries to muscle his man off the puck. Good job to use the body there right as his man was about to pass it back to the point. Carrero tries to tie it up along the boards. Ferris squeezes his man off. Good job to take off from in front of the net. Close down his man. Puck sent up into the open ice. Carrero tries to keep his man to the outside. And a great stick by Ferris. Forces a turnover. The Iceman discombobulated here as Binder keeps the puck in. And Giamaroli and Vanderham collide at the blue line. Chipped up and out. Good chance by KC as Vanderham evades a check from a player. Smith will send it in on Black. That'll skip to the end boards. Baines strips his man of the puck, tries to go short side upstairs on the backhand, just misses. Smith sends that on net. That's off a defenseman skate, and Pomulus will pound that at the net. Blocked again by a defender. Grozny sends it to the net, loose in front. Weeks tries to pick it up. Pomulus back in support. Chips it on the back end, just back inside the KC zone. Baines with a tricky play on the backhand, strips his man of the puck. Grozny to Baines. Baines fires. That's off the back dashers. Comes right back out in front. Weeks tries to strip his man. That's chipped down the ice, and the Sabres under pressure just fire it down to get a fresh defensive pairing out there and the ability to catch their breath. 2:13 remaining in the first period. Your Icemen leading 2-1 from the Ardrossan Recreational Complex. Puck lobbed out and down the ice. Icing is going to be negated. Carrier back to pick it up. Work it around to Colomb. Colomb tries to move it up the wall. That's up to the point and sent right back in. That's off the skates of Gwinnett. Goes below the goal line. Carrier protects the puck. He'll rim it back the other way. Gwinnett's going to have to try to pitchfork it up the wall, which he does. Loose scramble puck. Colomb able to chip it down. Gwinnett's going to have to move it quick, and he does, up to Sawyer. Sawyer sends it on to Black, and Black just holds on. Knapsack gets it. He's going to try to draw a penalty here as he went right to the front of the net. Looking to disrupt the KC goaltender. No penalties handed out. So with 1:31 remaining in the opening period, Coach Ferris will get a line change and put Vanderham back out here. His line flanked by Giamaroli and Binder. Ferris and Foot on the back end. Vanderham tries to jam that short side, sends it right up the middle. Foot, great job to keep it in. Sends it back down to Binder. Binder will chip it below the goal line. Work back up. Foot will pinch down the wall to separate his man from the puck, but it's sent all the way back down. Ferris tries to pin it. The puck pops loose for Foot. Foot works it up to Giamaroli. Giamaroli, 1-on-2. Work to the outside. Giamaroli's going to try to pick it up. Foot pinches down again. Binder able to come back and support. KC just elects to send it right back in. Rimmed up the wall, but not out. KC picks it up. Up to the blue line again, but not out. 35 seconds remaining. The Icemen need to shut it down here. The end of this first period. Lob up and out to center, and KC's just going to fire it right back in and tag up. 20 seconds remaining. Vanderham tries to tie that up along the boards. That pops back to the point. Fired wide of the net to the opposite side. Tired forward unit out here now as it's sent to the net. Knocked to the corner, all alone. And Perkis comes up. Thought Perkis had it, but the official looked again after he'd blown the whistle. And Cheremshinsky is going to get the goal. I don't know how you can blow it down and call it no goal and then look again. And give him the goal. You blew the play down dead. Well, exactly what I talked about. You want to get out of the period with a 1-goal lead and the momentum, and the Sabres have just taken the momentum, though they only have 5 shots on goal in this opening period. And Smith finishes his check on his man at the end of the first period, trying to take that momentum right back into the dressing room after 20 minutes. And there you go, Chemchinsky with his second of the game. He is the offense for the KC Sabres, so if you can shut him down, which they did the last game, you will do well. But Chemchinsky with 2 goals already, the leading scorer in the season and the playoffs. So after 20 minutes of play, we're all knotted at 2 shots on goal in the first period for your SE701 Icemen 19, and for the